Hey guys, Holy Roller here, or actually I should say Giant Midget here, because this is Resistance 3 for the PlayStation 3. I just got this game about a week ago now, and I've been pretty hooked to it. It's a ton of fun. It's definitely a lot better than the second Resistance, even though some of the guns in this game are a little overpowered, especially for new people. Like, this is the third or fourth game I play, I think, and basically all you have right now is the carbine and the bullseye, and you pretty much have to do all your work with that. And other people have a few guns that are quite a bit more overpowered. Like the shotgun's a little bit overpowered in this game, and then you have the atomizer, which is actually quite ridiculous because you don't even have to aim with it. But I'm sure some of those problems are getting fixed as we speak. Now, I was going to record like the very first game that I played, but I had some technical issues with it, and both the first game and the second game I played, I recorded absolutely no sound with them for some reason. So I decided to just not upload them at all and just go right to this one. This is like the third or fourth game I played, I think, and I did pretty well in it. Get a couple of berserks, which are basically their version of kill streaks, and had some fun. I gotta say, I'm definitely really happy how they brought the game back more to the Resistance 1 type of graphics. How it's a little grittier and darker, and definitely an M-rated game. There's a lot of blood and gore and stuff blowing up and shit like that going down. It's definitely not the Resistance 2, which is kind of light and, well, light in more aspects than when it was lighthearted. All the environments were very light and bright. Even the times where you're supposed to be alone and it's supposed to be kind of creepy in that game didn't really seem all that scary. Like the first one had some great dark environments that made you kind of feel like you were alone, and it was a good atmosphere that it had to it. And they kind of brought it back in this game. It's not as dark, but they did a good job of reliving that. And I had a really fun time playing this campaign. They made the story good. People were complaining that they changed the character from Nathan Hale to Joe Capelli, I think that's his last name in this. And people were having issues with that because you play with Hale through 2 games. Then at the end of the second one, they kill him off and you get this new guy. And a lot of people were complaining because like, oh, he's not as badass, so on and so forth. But really, when you look at it, Hale was kind of a robot. It's actually a good choice that they made this change. Like the way that Hale was going is just, oh, he's just one guy that's invincible, and it kind of ends up looking like a Master Chief kind of story, which a lot of people like, but it doesn't really make for a good story. You have no character development in it really whatsoever. It's just one guy that does everything, and he's badass, yeah, but there's no story behind it. It's not a good storytelling. In this game, they actually have someone fighting for his family, they have someone trying to save the world, and it works out well. I did really enjoy the story in this game. The only problem I had with it is that the ending was a little bit anticlimactic. I know that's one thing that a lot of people said, but I guess you can't have every Resistance game end the same way with some giant explosion and something dying in some giant glorious fashion, but you know, everybody can't have their own way. Graphics wise though, I kind of expected more for this game. It really just looks like an improved version of Resistance 2. They kept pretty much the same graphics and they just improved them a very little bit. Coming from seeing like Killzone and the Final Fantasies and stuff like that on PlayStation 3, I've started to expect more from this system. Like, I understand there's never going to be a Call of Duty or something that looks that good, but at least for games like this, they really should have done a better job with them. It is a good looking game, but there's just a few things here and there that you notice that it just could look better. Though one thing that does really make me happy about this game is coming from a Call of Duty player, I'm used to those really tight, fast reaction type controls, and this game kind of has that. They're not as fast as Call of Duty's, and I really don't think any game has controls that are as responsive as Call of Duty's. But this game does a really good job. The controls feel nice, they don't feel clunky or laggy, there's not a big dead space in your movement, and it works really well. It's not like Killzone where it had that kind of heavy feeling, which I like Killzone, but it took something away from it when you have that kind of heavy feeling to it, personally. And same thing, that's another reason why I don't really like Battlefield. I don't like vehicle combat to begin with, and that's pretty much the main reason why I don't like it. But it also doesn't, the controls aren't exactly as fine-tuned as Call of Duty. They're actually less fine-tuned than this game is. This game did a really good job on it, I think. Anyways, back to the game that's actually going on now. as I mentioned before, they do have berserks, which are basically their kill streaks. They go on the 3, 6, 9 scale. The 3 one, well, they all depend on what person you are, if you're a human or a chimera. If you're a human and you get the 3 kill streak, you get an assault shield, which is basically what you could see right there that I looked at. It's basically just like a bubble shield that sits just in front of you, and it is a pain. If someone runs at you with that, there's really no way to kill them unless their shield's weak enough where you could actually blow it up and take it down. So you can take it down if you deal enough damage to it. Like right here, I get the assault shield. And you can just sponge damage with that all day. It does go away after a certain amount of damage, but it takes quite a bit. It's a grenade and quite a few more shots after that. As you can see, mine just went down there, and I don't know how I didn't melee that guy. But when you're the Chimera, you get invisibility, which it's not as good, because once you shoot someone or even melee somebody, it goes away. And I think you should at least be able to melee someone and not have it go down. But you can get a lot of kills with it, because you could kill like 1 or 2 guys before they really notice that you're there. But the assault shield just seems so much better, because you could just walk into a bunch of guys, spray them all down, and they can't really do anything about you. For the 6 kill streak, no matter what side you're on, you get an auger. And the auger is friggin' nuts. If you don't know what an auger is, it's basically a gun that shoots through walls that you could also put a shield up with. And the shield doesn't just block shots. If people get close enough, it actually hurts them as well. So it's a frickin' ridiculous thing. If you get anywhere near their spawn, you could just sit behind a wall and just shoot them to your heart's content. And that'll definitely get you your 9th kill streak. Which, it's pretty much the same thing on either side. You get what's called a mutation, which basically turns you into a big, hulking guy with not really much more health than usual, but some more health than usual. And you get some big, overpowered grenade launcher-esque kind of gun. It changes slightly depending if you're a chimera or a human, but it's pretty much the same thing. You get one of those, you walk into a room, you could kill pretty much anybody, because it kills people in like 1 or 2 shots. Another thing they kind of took off of Call of Duty now is now they have like perks, I guess you could call them. There's certain things that are perks that kind of affect how your gun work, and some things that affect how you are, and some things that give you extra abilities. Like right now you can see I have the auger, as I was talking about earlier. But if you've noticed me play, I have this ability called a spotter, which you'll notice that when you see like the red kind of HUD come up on my screen, basically what that lets me do is when I look at somebody when I have that, it shows him on everybody else's minimap. So that's very useful. Basically, you spot somebody and they die, because then all your teammates know where they are, they all go for him, and they kind of get outlined in red like you just saw that guy was there. And there I just got a spotter assist, where I spotted him, someone else killed him, and I got 90 points. That's only 10 points away from getting a full kill. So doing that, you could rank up pretty quickly. And here you see I get a mutation, and I have no idea what I'm doing with this. This is the first time I've got it. It's like the 4th game. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just trying to run around, kill some people. I got a few kills. I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing, and I die pretty quickly with it, because I really don't know what I'm supposed to do. But yeah, you also get other perks. You get ones that could, like, you could see people's footsteps, so you could track people down. You get ones that probably my favorite one is the dash one, where it almost instantaneously dashes you forward 10 meters, which is so useful if you're using a shotgun. You're just a little bit too far away, you could dash up and shoot them, or you could dash up and melee somebody if you need to, or it's great for just running away, getting behind cover, something like that. But what's also really fun is someone shooting at you, you could just dash and you'll usually end up behind them if they're close enough, and then you can usually get some pretty easy shots on them. It's a good way to get the drop on somebody even if they've already got the drop on you. And there's tons of different perks that do a whole bunch of stuff that I can't even go into right now. But it's definitely fun trying to find different types of perks and combinations that work well together. Like one that I've liked is using body armor, which is basically Juggernaut. You take less damage. It's actually, it says you have more health, but really it's just you take less damage. And you use that with dash, because when you use body armor, it makes you run slower. But when you use dash, you could dash forward 10 feet. So you could be running really slow, then you could close the distance between someone in like a second. So use that with like a shotgun or something like that, and you'll be able to just mow people down. Well, and that's the end of this round. And there's usually 2 rounds per game, but since they go by time, not anywhere by points, each game takes about 20 minutes. So I'll usually never upload a full game unless you guys really want me to. Well, that's the end of this round, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Peace.